the rebranding publicly of Cracker Barrel. Obviously, that was announced. Arch, you had some takes on the rebranding of Cracker Barrel.
Arch was right.
Arch, what were you right about, buddy? Please tell us.
I put out a tweet as halfway a joke, but I'm going to take it very seriously now that I've been proven right, of course. That this might be some kind of 4D chess move. They were going to rebrand shortly thereafter and put Sydney Sweeney in a battle and have their stocks rise 7,000%. And, well, they're rebranding now. So I'm going to take this as a win.
Take this as a big old W. There it is right there. Yes, as Cracker Barrel is going back to the old logo after a week of using it. Here we are right here. We'd like to thank this is the statement yesterday. We'd like to thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain. At Cracker Barrel, always been and always will be about serving up delicious, warm, blah, 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 blah. Okay, sounds good. Now, a lot of conversation about this, including this is over on the news.
I thought that was Alec Baldwin for a second. I was like, oh God, he's on another set.
Let's just kind of get a quick update from this.
But even the apology is getting backlash. Cracker Barrel spending $700 million on a rebranding plan that they say will turn the product from old rustic to perhaps more modern streamlined. Customers say that's just a giant helping of biscuits and bologna. They don't like it. So after a week's worth of backlash, the Tennessee-based company did put out an apology statement of sorts, which said, in part, quote, "We know we won't always get everything right the first time, but we'll keep testing, learning, and listening to our guests and employees." But the mea culpa, well, it didn't go down that well. Critics called it lame, and social media lit up with comments like these, quote, "You kicked Uncle Herschel to the curb. Now you are paying the price. Own it and stop making excuses." Another wrote, "Eating Sunday supper in a place that looks like a car dealership does not say vintage Americana." But the company's new logo, let's begin there. A simple gold shield with the restaurant's name, but gone is the image of a man affectionately called Uncle Herschel, dressed in overalls, sitting by a barrel. The company also says stores will be decluttered with fewer knickknacks on the wall, with brighter paint and booths. Critics call that soulless, sterile, and woke.
That is kind of the other thing here is they're going back to logo, but they're not changing the restaurants back.
That was the first thing I asked you when I was like, hey, are they bringing everything back to normal then? Are they sticking with the new layout? Which is shit, in my opinion.
If I was them, I'd slow roll this, because what makes me think that I might actually have stumbled upon something that makes sense with this is how quick, because they put out the bullshit excuse, which is full of corporate speech, right? And it's basically just saying, we hear you, but we're not planning to listen, right? And that, like, a day or two after, they revert the logo. Corporations don't work that fast.
No.
That doesn't happen. So I feel like they're going to put out the logo, then wait until people stop talking about it, and then announce, okay, we're bringing back the interior, and just kind of slow roll the positivity to keep themselves in the news. At least that's what I would do if this was intentional.
Well, it's interesting to kind of look at their stock price over the last month to kind of see where it was at. When you go back and you look at where it is today, it is up. Today, it is up 7% today, which is, about where they started. You can see kind of back here when all the backlash happened, they dipped down here 1 month ago. They're almost back to where they were a month ago. So they are regaining their market cap, if you will, but still down 3% from where they started. It's interesting because I think this all got scored away from Randy Quaid showing up actually at Cracker Barrel. He showed up and apparently had some things to say to the management over at Cracker Barrel. So good on him with his 2 million views on that post right there. It was interesting to kind of see Jennifer Say, who we've had on the show before from XXXY Athletics. She chimed in on this, says the entire C-suite at Cracker Barrel endorsed that new logo. So did the board. Now they'll all pretend they each individually didn't like it all along, that it was someone else, that their hands were forced. It's ridiculous, but this is how corporate America works. If anyone at all is reprimanded or fired, it'll be some low-level person who will be assigned to take the fall. So they all look like they, quote, hold people accountable.
That's terrible.
And they will all evade accountability.
That's shit.
Not wrong.
Now-
Business is business.
That's kind of like, though, what they should have done if they were being smart about this and deliberate. They would have gathered up all of the HR personnel and put them in charge of this rebranding so they could fire all of them simultaneously. Because I think the real litmus test here is going to be whether or not the CEO gets the boot. Because if she doesn't, then that kind of indicates that it wasn't anything that they'd planned to do. And that instead she simply was an idiot who made a terrible decision. And we now live in an age where the right-wing backlash is able to, change people's opinions. We'll see, I guess.
The thing is, it wasn't even right-wing backlash, because if you recall, like the whole left wing was like, yeah, we hate it too. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't a right-wing thing. It was everybody looked at it and was like, no, we ain't down with this shit. So it's cool to see. Critical Drinker came in, said it's wild that they spent tens of millions of dollars on marketing firms, research, design agencies, advertising, and corporate rebranding just to end up right back where they
Yeah.
started.
Millions of dollars just down the drain.
So there you go. Cracker Barrel coming back with the old man.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, if they still have kept their whole idea of the new layout, it's still shit, in my opinion.
You don't like the solid white? Maybe we should go to a Cracker Barrel.
I've never been. So.
Oh! Should we take Blabs to a Cracker Barrel
Funny
after we
enough,
go
I
to
was
town?
driving yesterday. There was a Cracker Barrel. I was like, oh, I've never been, but I just kept driving anyway.
Well, maybe we should. Maybe we'll hold off until they.
Until they what, redesign?
Yeah.
I wonder how long it's going to take. It's going to take a while to roll them all out. All the
Yeah.
designs.
Silence You Idiot says same with Jaguar. It's not just a Gen Z brand, in my opinion. Thank you, Silence You
Yeah, but
Idiot.
Jaguar's just fucking stupid. They're like electric cars. Let's go.
Your dad said you should hit the subscribe button. Don't disappoint Dad.